What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Ugon back again with another reaction video. Okay, so how y'all doing? Hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all doing at some proper. We are back. You know what I'm saying? We're back. We took a nice little couple of breaks. Took a nice little couple of days as a break because I wasn't feeling too well. But we're back now, and to start off today, we are going to be checking out Formula One. Yeah, Formula One. It's been a while to take a look at a Formula One vid. The last time we checked out Sebastian Vettel. So now we are going to be checking out Lewis Hamilton. Apparently he is number 1 on the list that we checked out the other day, the top 10 drivers of all time. Apparently he's number 1 on that list. So these top 10 moments should be pretty spectacular. We should have a lot of fun with this. Top 10 moments of Lewis Hamilton's Brilliance. I was recommended this video by Arnold Sega, so shout out to him for recommending me a video. Video by Formula One, link in the description for check out this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and let's hop right into the video. So waste any time, starting now.
Lewis Hamilton, the newly crowned 7-time Formula One world champion, has driven some of the most memorable races in the history of the sport.
Okay, talk to me.
The 2006 GP2 champion announced himself to the world in style after his move to partner world champion Fernando Alonso in the McLaren F1 team. Hamilton racked up some solid practice sessions at the 2007 season opener in Melbourne, but couldn't quite take that form into qualifying, starting from P4 on his Formula One debut. But the Stevenage rookie was determined to show his worth, laying down a marker at turn 1 that set the tone for the rest of his career.
Hamilton's had some manners put on him by Kubica, but
nice bit of separation.
He's also got
zoom out.
So, stunning start by Lewis Hamilton, up into 3rd place.
Yeah, I saw him. He was at 5th.
First corner.
Separation, zoomed out.
Mighty move on your new teammate.
That's easy. That's light work.
Hamilton had proven straight away he was the real deal.
That's light work. Isn't it, Lewis?
Hamilton's
Let's go.
For a single lap is mind-blowing, and he holds the all-time qualifying record for F1 pole positions.
Okay, talk to me.
Some laps still stand out, such as at Singapore in 2018. Locked in a titanic battle with Sebastian Vettel, Hamilton arrived at Marina Bay with a car unsuited to the twisty technical nature of the street circuit, but made a nonsense of this supposed Achilles heel and conjured up a truly magical qualifying performance. Half a second off Vettel's best time heading into qualifying, he only narrowly avoided a disastrous Q1 exit.
Only a 39.4 for Lewis.
So if the cut-off's a 1:39.5 between success and failure, he is right on the cusp.
And then fell short of Kimi Raikkonen and Max Verstappen's pace in Q2. But as the British driver swung his Mercedes through the floodlit streets of Singapore on his first flying lap in Q3, he came alive. At one with his car, as he set the timing screens purple.
That one felt the most complete lap that I think I may have ever done. We did not expect that, no one expected that, and all of a sudden this lap out of nowhere, it was just beautiful. It's flowing, beautiful, it was like a dance. It was freaking awesome.
The clock stopped at 1 minute 36.015, over 3 seconds up on Vettel's pole time from the previous year. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff called the lap Stardust, as Hamilton, still shaking from the enormity of his lap, dealt a major blow to Vettel's title ambitions, in a car which, despite its overall dominance, had no right to be on the front row that weekend. He followed it up with a victory, and in so doing, placed one hand on a 5th World Championship crown.
That's again, wait a second, we gotta pause this. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. At some point, if you're a superstar, you have to transcend your car. You know what I'm saying? Because usually the best dudes come in with the best cars. But sometimes, in certain cases, you don't come in with the best cars. So you still have to perform. You know what I mean? And to show your greatness, you gotta do exactly what he did. You know what I'm saying? Came in with a proper car, a car that was good enough to win the game, that was good enough to win the race, but not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Not as good as some of the other dudes out there, but was still able to beat him, coming from behind and won the race with a fist bump to the top. You know what I'm saying? Let's go though.
A comfortable pole position at Hockenheim in 2008 proved Hamilton was in form, but a poor strategy call would force Lewis to pull off an epic recovery drive.
Okay.
Hamilton had led from the off and was over 11 seconds clear of Felipe Massa's Ferrari at the halfway point. But when Timo Glock's Toyota suffered a suspension failure and crashed, there was a safety car. Cue most of the field peeling into the pits for fresh rubber, but McLaren believed the safety car period would be short, and their driver would have enough time to rebuild a gap before pitting. But they were wrong.
Why have McLaren not brought Hamilton in? That's the big question.
And when he did come in 9 laps after the restart, he was left down in 5th with just 17 laps to go.
Let's take overtime.
Verlainen didn't pose too much of a problem, but ahead lay championship rival Massa and his old GP2 adversary, Nelson Piquet Jr., who was leading by virtue of a perfectly timed pit stop. Massa was struggling with his brakes and Hamilton dived by into second, with Piquet's Renault in his sights.
He like, we not losing.
Soon on the Brazilian's gearbox and on lap 60, went down the inside at the hairpin to reclaim the lead. Hamilton come back from the break.
We are not losing.
But response to the tricky tactics was a joy to behold.
Great drive, Lewis. I'm very sorry that we made it a little bit more difficult for you, but thank you for the opportunity of driving a great car.
We are not losing.
You enjoyed it, so absolutely.
We are not losing.
That's okay, Ron. That's a good excuse. Don't worry.
God damn it, Mercedes, you messed me up. Don't get it twisted. Mercedes messed him up. Know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that's the car he was in Mercedes. I'm gonna say it's a Mercedes for the sake of this video. Mercedes messed him up because of the way they slow down whatever they were doing, changing his tires. They slowed that down. They messed him up. But still, you know what I mean? When you got a superstar in your squad, you can count on him. You know what I mean? He came out from 5th and beat him all. Let's go.
But that's what you hired me for, so it's all good.
Talk about it's all good. You got a goddamn superstar.
Canada 2007
Let's go, man.
6th Formula One race.
You talking about it's all good,
He had
man.
already stood on
It's light work.
5 times.
It's easy.
Top step. Yet. But Montreal was a weekend for firsts.
Okay.
As he stormed to his first career pole position and drove with a maturity beyond his 22 years to hold off Alonso at the start and build up a gap to his competitors.
Alonso goes to the outside as he made it. He's gone for broke, and it's cost him.
Hamilton's driving was absolute perfection as he sailed serenely on through a chaotic afternoon where no less than 4 safety cars constantly cut back his hard-earned lead to 0. But he refused to buckle under the pressure and executed restarts to perfection, despite never having done so in Formula One before. And he came through the carnage to make history. The first black driver to win a Formula One Grand Prix.
Lewis Hamilton wins!
And continued on an unprecedented run of success for a rookie racer at the top level of motorsport. With Hamilton's attacking credentials undeniable, 2019's Monaco Grand Prix demonstrated his mastery of that other vital side to the art of the racing driver.
Okay.
Defending. In the wake of the death of his friend and mentor Niki Lauda, who had been so instrumental in persuading Hamilton to join Mercedes, emotions were high in the Principality. The race started well, leading from the off after taking a dominant pole position until a puncture and floor damage for local hero Charles Leclerc brought out the safety car, and the leaders into the pits on lap 11. Cue a strategic error from Mercedes that gave Hamilton a mountain to climb, while his rivals Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel went back out on hard tyres. Mercedes opted for the mediums, and the world champion now faced a daunting 64-lap stint on the softer compound.
Time to lock in.
What you're thinking when you tip these tires on, man. You need to hope for a miracle.
Time to lock in.
On a set of
It's
tyres
time
that should do
to lock in.
for 67 laps.
But once again, the crisis simply showed the measure of the man as he protected his delicate tyres and defended for his life against Verstappen, one of the most aggressive drivers on the grid, on tyres with minimal tread on the most psychologically demanding circuit.
Okay.
The Dutchman spent 60 laps trying to sneak, slip and nudge past, with Hamilton showing Herculean defensive stamina and tenacity to stay ahead.
Yeah.
All the while conscious he dare not overwork his fragile tyres. With 3 laps left, the Dutchman went for a killer pass down the inside into the chicane. But Hamilton's sixth sense kicked in.
Verstappen down the inside.
There we go.
Hamilton has to cut the chicane. Hamilton wins the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yes, sir.
Once for Nicky, mate. That
Yes, sir.
Nicky.
You go ahead and you neutralize that threat for me.
Race I think I've had. I really was fighting with the spirit of Nicky. I know he'll be looking down, and I know he will take his hat off today.
Yeah. He said we gotta lock in today. We not losing.
A swashbuckling racer's performance helped Hamilton beat Mark Webber and Fernando Alonso at the Nürburgring in 2011. A stunning qualifying effort, 1.2 seconds faster than his McLaren teammate Jenson Button, secured Hamilton a surprise front row start, P2 beside Webber. And he got the better of the Australian at the off, while Alonso's Ferrari soon got ahead of Sebastian Vettel and the other Red Bull, setting up a 3-way battle for victory. Hamilton held off Webber until a small mistake into the chicane on lap 12.
He's gone deep. He's gone too deep. Webber's going to be through here. Any cars left, he'll deploy it. He's got the inside line. I don't see how Lewis can defend against that. He tries.
Oh, it's lock in time.
Getting out of shape on the apex.
Time to lock in. Create separation. We zooming out. We'll see you later, boss. We will see you later, boss.
Just pure speed, and Alonso watching very closely.
Yes, sir. What is it?
Stop from Red Bull, then allowed Webber to jump back ahead, but he couldn't shake off his pursuer. And after the second round of stops, he was hung out to dry when he tried to pass Hamilton as the McLaren emerged from its tyre change.
Nah, bro, you're not allowed. You're not passing me. Come on, man.
That lead, I can't see Lewis yielding that one.
Nah. Not today, sir.
Hamilton then showed how it should be done by passing Alonso,
Yes, sir.
emerging just ahead of his own stop.
Time to lock in and dominate.
Napping.
The Briton
You lock in
his second win of the
and
season.
dominate.
Vintage Hamilton, an offensive masterclass on a day when the driver made all the difference.
That's that offense and defense. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was
And
impressive.
again, Hamilton
That was
proved
impressive.
himself a master of qualifying, when man and machine are pushing in perfect harmony on the ragged edge of adhesion. And at the 2020 Styrian Grand Prix, Hamilton produced one of the finest and bravest driving displays of his career. The conditions in Austria were such that many had doubts as to whether qualifying would happen at all on Saturday. After
The wet weather?
practice had been cancelled. But despite a handful of spins and crashes, qualifying continued, and Hamilton was left trading fastest sector times with Max Verstappen as the two protagonists duelled for pole position, head and shoulders above the rest. And Verstappen blinked first, after initially setting the fastest first sector on his final lap to raise hopes he could topple Hamilton. The Dutch master spun at the penultimate corner. And whether he didn't know or didn't care, the man from Stevenage kept his foot to the floor to emerge from the mist and smash his previous best.
Look how treacherous the conditions are. Lewis Hamilton on pole position.
What a lap. Champions drive.
It was freaking awesome.
The scintillating lap had given the Mercedes driver pole by an extraordinary 1.2 seconds.
Look at the weather, man. Look at the goddamn weather.
His race-winning McLaren
Bro is in control in that weather.
was seen as a risky move by many in the F1 paddock.
Okay.
And although their first season together was far from perfect, there were some truly remarkable moments along the way, and none more so than in Hungary. After securing a surprise pole at a sun-baked Hungaroring in late July, not even Hamilton gave himself a chance in the race, declaring a win would be a miracle. Expecting his car to rapidly burn away its rear tyres, it soon became clear the rubber was holding firm in the heat, and Hamilton needed no invitation, taking advantage. After pitting from the lead, he wasted no time in passing his former teammate.
Yeah, easy money.
Manoeuvre.
Easy money.
And another bold pass on Mark Webber
Again.
after his second stop left him free.
Easy money.
Clear.
Easy money.
He could truly put the hammer down.
It's a first win for Mercedes. Hamilton wins the Hungarian Grand Prix.
It was his 22nd race win, but crucially, his first victory for the Silver Arrows.
Bro is taking over.
Bringing a win from the car at a circuit that did not favour him was a demonstration of the decisive judgment and error-free execution that would become his hallmark in the years to come, and the first step on what would become a history-making relationship. Perhaps the best example of Hamilton's never-say-die attitude was the 2018 German Grand Prix. After his Mercedes suffered a hydraulic problem in qualifying, he lined up P14 at Hockenheim, with championship rival and home favourite Sebastian Vettel on pole. The British driver had never won a race starting from this far back, but from lights out, he drove like a man possessed.
And Hamilton might just have picked up a place on Sergei Sorokin. Hamilton into turn one, has picked off Esteban Ocon. Down the inside he goes on Charles Leclerc, and he's put himself into the points.
No.
Carlos Sainz is the next to be ticked off the list. Ultra soft tyres.
That is going to be one fast car now.
With Vettel leading, Hamilton blasted through the pack. By lap 14 he was 5th, but winning still looked like a very long shot.
No.
Hamilton's supremacy, as the rain began to fall, was never more evident. But although he was the fastest driver on the circuit by some margin, Vettel continued to build his lead. But on lap 52, fortune swung.
And out of the race, Sebastian Vettel. He has been leading almost from start to finish.
The safety was called. Bottas came in, but confusion over the radio meant Hamilton aborted his entry to the pits, driving across the grass to continue.
Stay up. No, sorry, mate. Okay, just go.
When Raikkonen pitted on the next lap, Hamilton took over at the front, with Bottas behind, who went on the attack as soon as the race restarted.
Bottas switcheroo at the hairpin. Now it's wheel to wheel with Hamilton. Hamilton has the lead still. Lewis Hamilton from 14th on the grid wins the German Grand Prix.
His celebration was iconic, and he took the lead in a fight for the championship that he would not lose. Despite coming closer to the title in his debut season than any rookie had before, Hamilton still sought consistency. And after 2 pointless outings in Canada and France, he'd slumped from 1st to 4th in the driver's standings in 2008, and needed a happy homecoming to keep the critics at bay.
The doubters.
Qualifying for himself.
The doubters. Let's go.
4th as he struggled with his setup, but on Sunday he delivered in style.
Okay.
Immediate getaway by Kovalainen.
It's about time to answer the doubters.
But look at Hamilton.
Separation. Zoom the hell out.
He's not having that. He's squeezing his teammate. Hamilton has to back out of it.
On lap 5,
Zoom
he
out.
took the lead going into Stowe, having put relentless pressure on his McLaren teammate Heikki Kovalainen. And when the rain returned, he put new intermediate tyres on his McLaren and was in a class of his own, dropping his nearest challenger Kimi Raikkonen by 22 seconds within 5 laps. But the moment of truth came when the rain intensified to a deluge. As his rivals scrambled to take full wets, the 23-year-old Hamilton trusted his touch on the intermediates. And although briefly slower than those on the full wet, he held his nerve and kept his car on track as drama ensued around him.
No, Nelson.
You're going to see more of that. He's gone off in a straight line. That's exactly what we've been talking about. Well, the BMW's off. That'll be in the gravel. That's going no further. Kubica out of the race.
As the tarmac dried, he didn't have to pit again, and no one could match his pace. He was consistently more than 5 seconds a lap faster than some of his pursuers. Despite one brief trip across the grass, by the flag, he'd lapped the entire field up to 4th place.
Lewis Hamilton putting a lap on one of his main rivals, Kimi Raikkonen.
And Alonso.
And was 68 seconds ahead of Nick Heidfeld in 2nd place, claiming F1's largest margin of victory for 13 years, unprecedented in the modern era.
He came here to Silverstone, and he has shot them all with one of the great drives.
That
Lewis
is how
Hamilton
you
wins
answer
the British Grand Prix.
the doubters. That is how you
The
answer
90,000 standards.
the doubters. God damn it.
With his security, racecraft, and car control, he'd silenced his critics and pulled off a virtuous
That
wet
is
weather
how
drive in a
you
poor
answer
condition.
the doubters.
His finest ever. In just his 2nd season of Formula One, he displayed the hallmarks of a genius at the wheel. And, as it turned out, that's exactly what he was.
God damn it. That is how you answer the critics, the pundits, the doubters, the haters. That is how you come through and lock them the hell up. You lock them up, tell them to zip it, lock it, and put it in their damn pockets. That's how you answer the doubters. He came on and put on a goddamn show. Yeah. And other than that, like, this dude, you know what I mean? Every time somebody else messes up and he's like, don't worry about it. You got a superstar on here. Let's not get it twisted. You messed up, but don't worry about it, cause I'm the one driving. And I'm finna go ahead and put on a goddamn show. Every single time. When it was Mercedes that messed up, when it was changing the tires and slowed it down, or the dude that gave him like the car that wasn't the best, they didn't give him the best car and he had to pull a rabbit out of a hat to perform, you know what I'm saying? Or he started from the back, was like 14th place and had to perform, you know what I'm saying? Every single time he had to pull a rabbit out of the hat, he let the team know, you got a superstar on here, so let me lock in and go to work. That is how it's done. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how it's done. That's how you come from behind and take over. That's how your team messes up your car and you still go on to dominate. And in that weather, when they were driving in that weather, it's a crazy weather. I can't imagine driving in that type of weather, bro. Some of these dudes be driving in these crazy weather, like the rain pouring, everyone falling all around you, and you just keep your control. You know what I'm saying? Control driving. Crazy. And the one where he was defending against a dude and was still on offense and was able to pass the dude in front of him, that was nuts as well, because he was on defense for about a couple laps, and then when it was time to take over, you know what I'm saying? He just zoomed out of the first dude, and just zoomed out on him, and won that race. The brilliance of Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, that's pretty much correct. I got no qualms about this. So far, he's had the most overtakes, most craziest moments, in my opinion, to all the dudes we've reacted to, all the like F1 drivers who we've reacted to. He's had the most crazy moments. I'll put him up there with like Ayrton Senna. Sebastian Vettel has some crazy moments, but this dude had, Lewis Hamilton had a lot more crazy moments than Sebastian. So yeah, in my opinion, he's better. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about Lewis Hamilton in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.